Okay, so Ren, Sick Boy, this is a priority request. If you are here watching it, you are watching it on the Sphere. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining the Sphere and for putting this as a priority request. So Joseph, this one is for you. This is your priority request, and let's get straight into it, man. Ren, Sick Boy, let's go.
Thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for seeing me.
Looking at your file here, it seems there's a very apparent interplay with your emotional state and your physical body. Have you ever heard of the trauma response?
I don't think so.
Basically, our bodies can get stuck in a negative feedback loop. Our subconscious can repeat patterns from the past, which can have a pretty drastic downstream effect on our biology. Essentially, your mind is making you sick.
Sick boy, bitten by a tick boy, looking for that fix boy, anabolic steroids.
Ooh, I know that sample, and oh my god, I mean, whoever produced this, whoever remastered that with that sample is absolutely incredible. Man, with those drums and all of it, is just, man, Ren is doing some crazy stuff, man. And also just the setting over here, incredible. Him having his own sort of like therapy session, but it's like in the darkness. It's not actually a safe space, and I think that's kind of like the idea of it. That doesn't feel like a safe space. It feels like it's all eroding and collapsing, and it's all sort of like underground, where he almost kind of illegitimizes it, right? It illegitimizes his therapy, right? Because it's not actually a safe space. He never feels safe even when he's doing therapy, right? That's kind of why I feel that's the idea of doing it in that kind of dark space, is that the darkness is always around him. The darkness is his head, essentially. So it's almost like this therapy session is actually that space he's in is his mind, which I think is crazy, where it's kind of like erosive with the walls that are peeling and those kind of things. And it's very clever the way he plays with his videos and his music. Really, really, really.
Negative feedback loop. Our subconscious can repeat patterns from the past, which can have a pretty drastic downstream effect on our biology. Essentially, your mind is making you sick.
This is very creative to use this sample over here, because it just sounds like voices in your head, right? That's what it sounds. It sounds like that chaos in your head. It sounds like it's those voices that are playing in your mind the entire time, and they're reverberating and they're echoing, right? Come on, man.
Sick boy, bitten by a tick boy, looking for that fix boy, anabolic steroids. Damn so, poster boy, pass out. White noise, quick fix, snake oil. I'm about to break, boy. Oh, what a shame, he's in pain.
This is fire so far. Oh my god, this must be one of my favorites so far. Okay, Haren is just Haren though. But this over here, just this beat and the way he's delivering this with his conviction. Sorry, I know I'm pausing, I'm going back, but I'm so taken by the way by firstly the beat, and secondly how he's delivering on this beat. Sick
boy, bitten by a tick boy, looking for that fix boy, anabolic steroids. Damn so, poster boy, pass out. White noise, quick fix, snake oil. I'm about to break, boy. Oh, what a shame, he's in pain. Have another go. Take another pill. Here, take a couple more.
I love the way he's playing with that cynical aspect of like a psychologist or one of those people that are trying to help you. Actually, it wouldn't be a psychologist in this thing. It would be the ones that can prescribe medicine, psychotherapist, right? Is it a psychotherapist? Must be psychologist, psychotherapist, whatever. The ones that can give you. My wife would actually kill me for not knowing the actual names of this, because she is a psychologist herself. But the idea that he's playing with over here is just that cynical thing where it's almost like this entire thing has been designed by the system to not really help you. It's designed by the system to actually just peddle, right? It's to peddle. It's like, let me numb you for the moment, right? Let me turn you into the poster boy, right? For these therapeutics, which are essentially drugs, because it makes us money, right? So it's almost like it's trying to show like how the mask has slipped. Essentially, he's trying to portray that, right, as if the industry's mask has slipped, and being like, psychologists are supposed to be very sort of neutral and sort of, almost stone-faced because you can't show any emotion. But over here, she's showing an emotion. She's actually smiling, saying, oh, shame, he's in pain. Here, take another pull. Maybe take another one, shame, Because, it's something that they can make money on. And that's basically like calling out the industry for it's like, you don't really want to help people. What you want to do is you want to manage their illness because it pays you. It's profitable to do that. Right? You're not looking for solutions because solutions don't make money. You lose clients if you find a final solution to a problem. You've got to maintain, always maintain. There's always something else you've got to take. Right? Yes, it makes you feel numb, and yes, it makes you feel like a sort of an empty vessel and almost with no emotions and walking around like a droid and a robot that without any sort of feeling for the world anymore. But that's the only way we can help you. That's how we manage this, right? I like that. It's actually very cool.
He's in pain, have another go. Take another pill, here, take a couple more. Let's see how you're doing in another week or so. You'll be feeling worse when the side effects will show. Derealization, medical patient, losing patience with the process. Walking hand in hand with Satan, complications with the medication. Inflammation, dehydration.
I like that, losing patience with the process. I think that's kind of a bar. Losing my patience with the process, losing patience with the process, right? In terms of like this process inevitably leads to losing patience, meaning they die because there's no actual solution, and then losing patience, like I'm as the patient, I'm losing patience, my patience with this process that's not helping me, right?
With the process, walking hand in hand with Satan, complications with the medication, inflammation, dehydration, inhalation, aggravation, building up a toleration. Drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown, soccer, drown. I've been feeling like I'm drowning with my feet upon the ground. I've been screaming, I've been shouting, but I never make a sound. I've been looking for a way out, but I always seem to drown.
Is this all making sense, Ren?
Yeah, I think so.
So I love it. It's like I've been looking for a way out, but I always seem to drown. And then like he goes back into a thing. It's like, is this all making sense? Right? So he's having these moments of complete rage because he just cannot control it. And then he has these moments of like lucidity while he's speaking to somebody because he thinks it's someone that can help him. Right? And look at how passive he is when he talks to her. Right? And then after she's sort of like finished with her sort of diagnosis or finished with a bit of a therapy, he just goes back into that state again, essentially. So it's mad.
Looking for a way out, but I always seem to drown.
Is this all making sense, Ren?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. What I propose we do is we try to pinpoint the exact experiences from the past that are keeping you stuck. What can you tell me about your childhood?
I can't really think.
It's okay if nothing comes up right away. What I'd like you to do is take some deep breaths with me. In and out.
Man, this beat, man.
In and out.
Fire.
Good. Now tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
I feel like it's not me, it's the world that's sick. We're given everything we need and we commoditize it. We consume, we destroy like we're parasitic. Science tells us that it's suicide and still we commit. I'm not sick, we are sick, we are.
Science tell us that it's suicide, but yet we still commit. That's a bar, commit suicide. And science tells us that it's suicide, but still we commit to the suicide. by committing suicide. Fire, bro. That's very clever play on that.
Science tells us that it's suicide and still we commit. I'm not sick, we are sick. We are standing on a cliff in the name of progress. We jump off the precipice. I'm not sick, I'm the virus. You're the virus, hypocrite. How can you sit there with that smile on and tell me that I'm sick? Sick boy, looking for a fix, boy. Push it down in public quick.
I love that he says sick boy, looking for a fix, boy. Right? So he puts the talents out to the world, right? And then everybody loves him, right? And that's his fix. That's the only way he gets his fix. His fix, to sort of numb the pain, to sort of get away from his reality, is to go into a world of sort of adulation for him, but none of it's really real, right? It's all sort of like narcissistic and for themselves. I just want your signature, yes, because you're a brilliant artist, but it's just to say I have your signature. Whether you doing well or not doing well doesn't really matter to me, represented by the blood on the hands over here, right? They've got blood on their own hands, right? Because they're kind of feeding into this, right? But it's more for their own gain. But because of that, even though it's for their own gain, and he knows it's for their own gain, right? It's his fix. He gets that adulation. He gets to be seen. He gets to feel something outside of his dark space where all he's doing is taking pills. It's actually very, very cleverly done, right? Again, like I said, with regards to the space he's created there to have his therapy session, it's not a safe space. He doesn't feel like it's a safe space, but it's something he does anyway because that is the societal norm. Go see someone. Right? And when he goes to see someone, it's not, he doesn't represent that as like sitting on the couch or a comfortable chair with like in a room with blinds drawn up where the sun is shining. It's like when I go to see someone, right, I feel less safe because I feel like I am just a pawn in a commodity game. Right? Come on, man, it's fire.
We got I'm sick boy, looking for a fix, boy. Push it down in public, quick pose for the pic, boy. Record label meetings that commodify your gift, boy. Why you so upset? Don't you wanna be a rich boy? Fuck no, industry is cutthroat. I've been doing bits by myself, swimming backstroke, walking on a tightrope, rapping with a slit throat. The way that we persist.
I've been doing bits. What? Say that again.
Boy, fuck no, industry is cutthroat. I've been doing bits by myself, swimming backstroke, walking on a
fire. I've been doing bits by myself, doing backstroke. That entire line is absolutely brilliant. Industry is cutthroat. They don't want to see me moving forward, right? They don't want to see me moving forward. So I can't do breaststroke because everybody else is doing breaststroke, and because if I do breaststroke, that's who everybody else is. That's what the industry wants me to do, which means that I'll eventually drown in this because, right, it's like I'm going to be outmatched by 1,000 other people that are doing breaststrokes, right? So I have to be outside of the industry in my own lane doing backstroke. So meaning like I'm going backwards, but by going backwards, if you're doing backstroke, you're still in the race, right? But you're still moving, you're still progressing. So I'm doing bits in the industry doing backstroke, right? It feels like I'm going backwards, but I'm progressing going backwards. The fact that he's played that analogy into the backstroke of swimming is brilliant because you win races by backstroke. Like part of the medley, you need to do backstroke. Doesn't mean you go backwards, it means you go forwards, but you're doing it in a backwards fashion. It is so fucking clever the way he played with that line. I've been doing bits doing backstroke. I've been progressing doing backstroke, winning the race doing backstroke, but moving forward backwards. It's so clever. It's so clever. Oh my God. So smart. I love the way this man writes.
Tightrope, rapping with a slit throat. The way that we persist is like the ending of a bad joke. As the people evolve, we're complacent to assailants and we do what we're told. Counterintelligence, a sight to behold. Rape the earth of all resources and we bleed it for gold. And we bleed it for wealth, we bleed it for fame. But when you bleed it, can you tell me what the fuck will remain? And I'm bleeding myself.
Love, that's a very good point. Like we bleed it for wealth, we bleed it for fame, we bleed it for fucking everything. But when we bleed it, what else will remain? It's gonna remain, man. We can't eat fucking money. That's the last I found. Last I checked, it's not that nutritious. You know what I mean? Ink and paper ain't gonna fucking feed you. So, great.
We bleed it for fame, but when you bleed it, can you tell me what the fuck will remain? And I bleed in myself, I bleed in my brain. While I'm bleeding, I'm the reason, cause I'm doing the same.
Ooh, see at the end there, just that admission of like I do the same, because that's just human nature. At the end, that's crazy. It's crazy to say that. It's like he's not being hypocritical over here, where he's not saying like, oh no, you guys are all to blame, you guys are all doing this, but I don't. But he ends this off saying, but fuck, like, I do the same. I'm caught up in this fucking system. I'm able to call it out. I'm able to introspect in it. I'm able to be aware of it. I'm able to maybe sort of have the mechanics to sort of try and see if I can sort of move around this in ways that are not so malevolent. But yet, we're all human. We're all caught in the same system. We all do the same. Inadvertently or not.
Then I'm the reason, cause I'm doing the same.
Fire, man. Fuck, that's probably one of my favorites of his. I must be honest, that's probably one of my favorites of Ren's. That was absolutely fire. Fire. Sick Boy is one of my favorites. I don't know if I should put this on YouTube, man. I know that it's a priority request, and this is why people subscribe to the Sphere, but I kind of feel like this needs to go on YouTube, man. Anyway, I'll decide that. Anyway, love you all, man. Please stay safe, please stay healthy. I'll catch you in the next one.